We talked earlier this week, I played some clips for you from Fox News where Megyn Kelly had both former Vice President Dick Cheney on her program and former U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations John Bolton. And we were shocked that in those interviews on subsequent nights, Megyn Kelly asked real questions of Dick Cheney and John Bolton. There weren't really strong follow-ups, but we can't really expect that much on Fox News. But she did question them about how their own failed wisdom was responsible for getting us into Iraq in the first place, and that's probably why they don't really want to talk about the last 10 years in Iraq. I want to contrast that now with an interview Sean Hannity did with former Vice President Dick Cheney. Drastically different. Went a completely different way. I'll play one clip for you, but let me give you a comparison of a question Megyn Kelly asked with a question that Sean Hannity asked. Megyn Kelly asked former Vice President Dick Cheney, "What do you say to those who say you were so wrong about so much at the expense of so many?" Succinct, pithy, getting at so many of the issues around Dick Cheney's involvement in the Iraq War. Now here's a question from Sean Hannity to Dick Cheney. "I see the world the way you do. I view this as a real, clear and present danger, almost the potential for a modern day Holocaust. Pretty scary stuff." And then just allowing Dick Cheney to comment on that. What tough questioning, Lewis, from Sean Hannity here.
This is just typical Sean Hannity with a good old Republican chum throwing bouquets at each other.
They're throwing bouquets at each other, no question about it. And here's a clip. Here's another question from Sean Hannity. Is this even a real question? What is this?
All right, here with reaction, a special in-studio appearance, former Vice President of the United States, Dick Cheney. Mr. Vice President, how are you? Good to see you.
I'm very good, Sean. Good to be on the show again.
All right, so all of the blood, the sweat, the tears, the sacrifice, the surge, all of this goes into getting Iraq, not a perfect democracy, certainly better off than it was.
Certainly.
And an ally in the region of the United States. You see now city after city falling. The president says he's not responsible. I would assume you don't agree with that.
Well, I don't, and partly I think it's important to understand this isn't just about Iraq.
Still alluding to the freedom and liberty that we brought to Iraq. This incredibly misguided entry into Iraq based on deliberately misleading information that Colin Powell and others knew was faulty. By blood, tears, and sacrifice, he must mean the lives lost because of Dick Cheney's administration's ridiculous decision. But no, it's all framed, as Lewis said, it's all very rosy, just throwing bouquets at each other. And of course, Dick Cheney, he's the last person who wants to talk about the disasters. And as I've mentioned before, Dick Cheney should be hiding. He should be thrilled that he is not under real indictment for war crimes here. And if I were Dick Cheney, I would be doing no interviews at all.
David, he really shouldn't be, but the only place he can go is Fox News because it's not good for him to get his blood pressure up, so he has to do these softball Fox News interviews.
Well, it is the Mutual Admiration Society showing up there to ignore possible war crimes, ignore the killing of countless Iraqi civilians, thousands of American troops, all based on a faulty line that we were fed from the Bush administration in the aftermath of 9/11. And yeah, I guess Lewis is right. The Dick Cheney doesn't want any tougher questioning than that one question from Megyn Kelly. Let's take a break. DavidPakman.com/membership to become a David Pakman Show member. I'll tell you later what's coming up on the bonus show. We have a truly excellent show for you today.